freedom. You gotta see God, experience healing. Discover your joy. That's how we represent Jesus at Discovery Church.
Good Friday is a special day in the Christian faith. And the better we understand Good Friday, the more we can appreciate Easter Sunday. So much of the time we kind of go straight from Palm Sunday and we kind of move right to the celebration of Easter. and the resurrection. But Good Friday's right there in the middle, and really it ties us into what the problem actually is. You know, what is the problem that Easter is solving? You know, was Jesus a victim? Was he somehow helpless in this? Whose fault was his crucifixion? Was the murder of Jesus a tragedy, or was it a triumph? And how do we understand it? Was it somebody's fault? You know, one of the most important questions is, what does the murder of Jesus tell us about ourselves? If we miss this question, if we miss answering this question, then we have missed the whole meaning of Good Friday. Our culture avoids taking responsibility. We rationalize, we justify selfish behavior as if evading blame was a valued skill set. Good Friday says, don't do that. Just don't do that. You miss the gift that Christ has to give you if we miss Good Friday. You know, I've tried to imagine what Peter must have gone through after the death of Jesus. I mean, how did he feel after he failed his friend? It's only by accepting our failures that we can be set free. And I think Peter shows us how to do that. I heard him say, "Simon, Simon, Satan has asked to sift you like wheat." Satan has asked to sift you like wheat. I don't know how it happened. I don't know how we got here. How could it have ended like this? I mean, we thought he was the one. I mean, I thought he was the one who could do what he could do. Who's ever walked on water before? Who's ever healed the sick before? Blind people? Satan is asked to sift you like wheat, and yet today all the dreams died. It's not my fault. I'm not going to beat myself up about it. It's not my fault. If it's anybody's fault, it's the Romans' fault, or it's Pilate's fault. I mean, he knew he was innocent. You'd think someone with that much power, or the Pharisees, it's the Pharisees' fault. I mean, they had it in for him really from the beginning. I mean, the people loved him. That's why they hated him. They were jealous of him. That's why they hated him. It's their fault. But it's not my fault. I can't believe he died that way. Like overnight, like it's Judas's fault. He was one of us. I mean, he was one of the 12. He ate with us. He slept with us. He saw all the miracles too. He saw how he fed 5,000 people. He saw him raise Lazarus from the dead. He saw it, and he betrayed him. He always loved money more than he loved him. It's Judas's fault. It's not my fault. He tried to tell me this was going to happen. Jesus did. I mean, he could have left. This didn't need to happen. He could have just left the garden. He could have just run away. It's his fault. I don't want to say it, but it's his fault. He tried to say to me that he was gonna suffer and that he was gonna die, and I told him no. I said, no, that can never happen to you. And he looked right at me and said, get behind me, Satan. I tried to stop it from happening. It's not my fault. Get behind me, Satan, is what he said. Then when they tried to get him after the Garden of Gethsemane, I had my sword. I tried to fight for him. Why didn't he just let me die there? It's not my fault. I was trying to defend him. It's not my fault. When everybody else ran away, I followed behind. When they took him away, I was following. I was there. I was close by, maybe 20 yards. They all ran away. It's not my fault. They left. I didn't. If it hadn't been for that girl, and she kept saying, that servant girl, she kept saying, you're one of his disciples. You're one of him, over and over and over again. What was I supposed to say? Yes, I am, and they're going to kill me too. What good would that be? It isn't my fault. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. And then I heard that rooster. I can still hear it. Like in my soul, I can still hear it. I don't think I'll ever forget, because I looked up, and when I looked up, he was looking right at me, maybe 20 yards away, maybe. And he was looking right at me. His eyes, they didn't have anger in them, and they didn't have fear. They weren't disappointed. They just looked kind. They just looked kind and forgiving. It is my fault. It's my fault. Not for anything I did or didn't do. It's just my fault that I'm not the man I should be. It's my fault he died alone. It's my fault he died abandoned. It's my fault that he died without a friend around, in between thieves, with just his enemies. He said, Simon, Simon, Satan has asked to sift you like wheat. But I have prayed for you. He knew that your faith would not fail, that your faith would not fail. And that I would turn to him, that I would return to him and strengthen my brothers. I don't know if I could ever do that or ever be that. But I do pray that his prayer would be answered. I pray that my faith will not fail. pray that I'll turn. I pray that I will be the man he wants me to be, and that I will return and strengthen my brothers. He prayed that prayer. I'm praying it too. And that's the way Friday ends. There is no solution. There isn't any comfort. There's no real answer. There's just the realization that Peter and really all of us, it was all of our fault. It's our fallen nature that put Jesus on the cross. He doesn't realize it yet. But God's not finished. Sunday's coming.